Hi guys, this is Doug from Equity Builders Roofing coming to you today with tips and tricks. A lot of people try to do a roof inspection from the ground on their home, and I want to show you the difference of things that you're able to see from the ground versus what you'll see when you're up on a ladder, or better yet, up on the roof itself. So here's an example home. As you look at these shingles, you'll notice it pretty much looks like a roof. Everything looks fine from this distance. On the cedar shake part over here, you'll notice a couple of missing cedar shakes and a couple that are lifted up, small signs of problems. But on the shingles themselves, you pretty much don't notice much of anything. Now I want to show you the difference when we get up close, the type of damage that you'll see on the shingles if you're able to climb a ladder and get up on the roof itself. Okay guys, so now you can see we're up on the roof, looking at the same section of roof that we just looked at from the ground. I want to show you the different types of things that you're going to find up here. If you'll notice right along the edge, a foot or so down below the peak, the bubble on the shingle up there, it's probably got a nail pop working its way through that's pushed that shingle up. That or wind damage has lifted it up and kept it from going back down. You'll also see a couple of 3 or 4 bubbles right below the ridge vent up there. Things like that you're just not going to notice till you get close enough to your roof. Let me point out a couple of other things. You see a rusted nail head right here. That's a nail not in this shingle, but in the one below it, which is actually trying to work its way all the way out. And it's already bored its way through the top shingle. Is going to be small leaks going on places like that. You'll also find when you take the chance of getting on the roof to inspect, you'll see what wind damage has done when a shingle is not secure to the shingle below it. It should be firm like that. When wind has gotten a hold of it and lifted it up and let it go back down, a lot of times it's caused damage that you're not going to see because it's no longer sealed with this tar strip. And we've got sections there that just need to be sealed back down. So if there's a whole lot of that would be an insurance claim on, for wind damage. But certainly when you just find a little bit of it, we can fix that with a few nails and get you back in shape. The other thing I'd like to point out while we're up close here, if you'll notice the granule loss, if you see shiny areas here, you'll see the fiberglass in the mat looking toward the sun. When you see all that shiny fiberglass, you'll notice that it's missing granules from the shingles. This right here should be full of granules. I'll show you a brand new shingle of the same color. This is what that roof should look like. And you compare to the number of granules here versus that. This is what that looked like 10 years ago when this was a new shingle. So it makes you wonder, if all those granules are missing from your shingles, guess where those granules are? They've slid down your roof through time. They get in your gutter, and in your gutter, it's full of, well, leaves are building up as well. All those granules from the shingles are just clogging up your gutters. It's an ugly, yucky mess, but that's another reason why your gutters need to remain cleaned out. And your shingles need to be in good shape. All right, so real quickly guys, I'm going to show you just some other minor damage that you're able to find when you're up on the roof closer to the shingles that you'll never see when you're down on the ground. If you came up here to inspect, you'll find things like this where the shingles are rolling over the gutter, and of just through the years, that bend in the shingle has caused it to completely crack. There's a number of those as we look along the bottoms here. Here's a shingle that's completely been torn. So as we look where these shingles have really rolled down into the gutter, you'll see that through time that's been very hard on the shingles. You've just got some tears in shingles that shouldn't be there, some that have broken off completely. You'll also notice every now and then you're going to find something like this. There's a roofing nail just laying on the roof. It definitely begs the question, where did it come from? That's probably a nail that has worked its way all the way through the shingle. We call those nail pops. It's not a sign of bad installation, no matter how well you install the roof. Those are going to happen. Those nails are going to every now and then work their way up. That's just a maintenance issue that needs taken care of. But somewhere there, since we found that nail, there's a hole all the way through 2 layers of shingles that would be a leak, a small leak getting into your house. Another thing that we really like to see, whenever you have a downspout, this is bringing a lot of water down to one spot on the roof. So that spot on the roof really needs to be shingled well, flashed well, in good shape. And when you find something in that bad a shape, that close to where all this water comes out, is a definite problem area. Even worse, where this is running out, you find things like this where there's a crack all the way through the shingle. Lots of water hits right here. there definitely is going to be some water problems below. Fortunately, that's a porch, a wraparound porch, rather than inside the house. You'll also find lots of things like nail pops when you get the opportunity to be here on the roof. You'll see a rusted nail head. This is another one of those nails that in another 6 months will be laying on the roof somewhere because it's worked its way all the way out. Here's one not quite as far, but it's working its way out. Another thing that you can notice, this house has no drip edge. There's a little trim piece right here that's not present on most homes, just for the beauty and the aesthetics of it. But right here below the shingles should be some metal drip edge, which prevents water from wicking back up into the decking and rotting out the wood underneath the shingles. Code does not require, at least in this area of the state, code doesn't require drip edge, so there's nothing wrong with doing it this way. It's just a whole lot better job if you'll spend $200 or $300 extra. Make sure your roofer puts a drip edge on your home before he puts on new shingles. So, tips of the day. Make sure you don't satisfy yourself by standing down on the ground, looking up at your roof and saying, yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Get as close as you can to the shingles and you'll see all kinds of other things that really probably need some addressing.